plaintiff, Melissa Cooper, says the defendant is her mother, but Melissa plays more of a motherly role in their relationship. Melissa claims when she was 10 years old, her mother said she didn't like her and then proceeded to make fun of her when she was going through puberty. She's suing her mother for a collections notice. Defendant Matilda Kurtz says when Melissa was 5 years old, she punched Matilda in the face, and at age 13, she started skipping school and smoking marijuana. Matilda claims she was once arrested while trying to protect Melissa, and as a result, she was unable to repay Melissa.
Tell me what happened.
This is my mother. Unfortunately, I'm more of the mother in the situation because growing up, she just wasn't that positive with my upbringing. During puberty, she would call me names like pizza face because I would have, oily and pimples from the acne and things like that.
Jokingly, obviously. Jokingly?
Yeah. Well, jokingly, but it also crushes your ego, But also, when I try to establish a relationship with her, she explained to me that, her and my sister were team A and me and my father were team B. When I asked her, could we be team C? And she explained to me no. When I asked why not, and she said because she did not like me. And, that hurt my feelings as well because anytime I try to establish a relationship with her, I just seemed like I always got rejected.
Starting at what age did that occur?
That occurred on multiple occasions, actually.
Starting at what age?
But I would say at about 10, I had asked her, and then,
she didn't want a relationship with.
No.
Ma'am?
Well, what I would say is that before she was 10, when she was 5, I should have been prepared for dealing with her because when she was 5, for example, on our way home from daycare, she wanted me to drive home a certain route, and I went another route, and she proceeded to get out of her car seat and punch me in the side of my face while I was driving when she was 5.
But you did it right next time. Go ahead,
Well,
what else?
Well, that's just one thing. At 13, she started skipping school. She wasn't, going to school at all. She was, started drinking, started smoking weed at 13, causing problems.
She said at 10 you told her you didn't want her.
I didn't say no, I did not want her. What she said was, well, her sister is not like her. Mm-hmm. And so her and I are closer because Melissa is like I am. Mm-hmm. And her sister is more like her father.
What did you tell her? She said she asked to have a closer relationship.
And I said, well, we're team A. We're full. Sorry, no more room.
And you want to know why she rebelled?
But that was when she was 10. Do you know how much things happened between 2 and 10? Lots of other things happened.
Right, but as of age 10, in her adolescence, probably some of her most important years, she asked to have a relationship with you, and you told her no more room.
Uh-huh.
That may have something to do with her rebellion, man.
In my defense, I wasn't raised by my mother. My mother had 6 children and left when I was 7. So everything I've ever done, it wasn't that I had a role model. So I'm not saying that with Melissa, that's like getting cuddly with a cactus.
You've never seen a woman raise a daughter before?
Really growing up? No, sir. Okay. No. And
you never learned, read a book, heard, watched television?
Well, for her sister, yeah.
Did you ever watch the Cosbys?
Well, yes. Yes. But for her sister, her and I get along better. But Melissa is just like me. So most people who have somebody that's just like them, it's hard to get along with yourself. So that's what I'd say. I would think. She has 2 brothers, and I have the same relationship with both of them. One of them we really get along, and the other one we don't. That's just the facts.
This is your daughter, ma'am.
Right.
Go ahead, young lady.
I didn't do any drugs at 13. I may have drank, but the alcohol was provided by her. She would allow me to throw parties. So
tell me about why you're suing your mother. What
today
happened
I'm suing her because when I did enroll into the program, she was going through some situations and she could not get a place in her name. So she'd asked me, me and several other people, a couple of other people declined because of her payment histories. But me being the person that I am, striving to have a relationship with her, wondering everything I can do to help, said that I would get the place in my name so that way her and my brothers would have somewhere to stay. Unfortunately, when the time went on, she did not pay the bills for the rent, and she got evicted and moved to a different property. And then I got stuck with the amount that was due when I was actually a full-time residential student in Job Corps, so I wasn't residing at the residence.
And you get the bill.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am?
Well, what I say is that I've always been very dedicated to Melissa. Now, it might be rough, but this property that she's speaking of, she came home on Christmas break, and what we have is called the Jump Out Squad, where it's a drug task force, jumped out and got her and her friends in my vehicle and said that she was in possession of marijuana. Her friend called me. I went outside to investigate, and I told the officers, this isn't the case. She doesn't smoke. She's in Job Corps. They test you. This is incorrect. They said they had an informant that said they bought weed, and I just talked to them, and I was very adamant about, this is my daughter. She doesn't do that. And I was arrested. And from that...
Why?
For failing to obey officer's order.
Mm-hmm.
And from that case, there's been a lot of other legal things, because she has, what she didn't mention was, for example, at 17, I went to Las Vegas, left her at home. She had stole checks, cash checks. She had cash, stole checks from her father. And she had a tattoo party for which she has the tattoo on her ankle that, right now. She was involved with other men that were involved in drug dealing, and she has that tattoo on her wrist.
These are horrible, horrible, horrible things. Now, what about this 4,000 she's seeing?
Well, because of that case, I was arrested 9 times because they affiliate me with drugs and gangs. And then, so I was incarcerated for resisting arrest in my state and I never was arrested before any of this happened. And then when I got out of jail, in my family, we have these tumors. They're called GIST tumors. So I had 1/3 of my stomach removed 6 months after I was incarcerated. I was, a patient. I was not well. 5 months after that, due to the tumors, I had another gangrenous appendicitis that burst. So my health hasn't been well. So it's not that I didn't think that I owe it. I just didn't, not yet. Like, I haven't had time to recoup from hiring lawyers and paying all these fees and then getting incarcerated and not being able to work. And then my health went. I haven't been able to pay it.
Okay. You agree that you owe, though?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right. You work, or?
Yes, sir. I'm a chauffeur. And
okay. How long have you been doing that?
22 years.
And how long have you been healthy enough to resume your work?
Well, even so now, I go every 3 months. I'm still in treatment. I still...
How long have you been working full-time in recent months, years, or what have you?
Not for a long time, sir.
Okay, you've been
like
very
3
evasive.
years.
3 years?
Yes, sir.
And you haven't given her any money in 3 years?
I have 2 sons that I raise with some child support, and I've always had custody of all 4 of my children and provided somehow a roof over their head, paid for or not. At the end of the day, I was there with them. And I've always supported Melissa.
Well, you don't have to support her this time. Just repay her. $4,014 is her judgment. Have a good day.
Well, hopefully we can go up from here.
Definitely. Yes, I love her dearly, and you are on Team A now.
Oh, great.
So you can't mention this debt ever again.
But
so
that's
I'll pay it, it's done, paid in full.
What about the other ones?
No, it's done.
Oh.